Hi, this is Ken with Noisy Boys Music. I have here a Ludwig Supraphonic dating back before the beginning of time. Now it's a blue and olive badge, so it's probably not that old one, probably 70s. Lots of bubbling. These were notorious for bubbling up because they had not put enough of a cleaning job on the aluminum shells before they actually put chrome on them. So anyway, this little project I'm working on to make a powder coated snare, sort of a custom one. Picked this one up very inexpensively, so I'm going to see what I can do with it. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have it powder coated, and I'm going to go through a rather lengthy process to do it. So let's first see what I have to do to get the snares off. Got 2 screws here, and this plate will eventually come off too. This does not have original Ludwig snares on it, so I'll probably put some Pure Sounds I've got laying around here on it. Better straps. This has some odd string here. You can see someone just put string on there. So, I don't know if you can see me or not. Hi, this is Ken. So I'll cut that off. These don't really have a name on them. They don't look like bad snares, but I might reuse them. Not with these on it. So I'll set that aside. I'm going to pause this video different times here. Get the nasty thread out of here. A lot of this hardware is going to come off so it doesn't get powder coated. So, remember what I did with my wrench here. Now come off the heads. Doubt they're worth saving, but not concerned about pressures and stuff like that. I'm checking the lugs to see if they all spin smooth. See if any of them are stripped. All feeling pretty good. Got a drill, it goes a lot faster, but okay. I'm going to do the same to the top. Take them all the way off. This one's. I must have added this lug to this. Looks like it fits though. Anyway. And I'll restart this in a minute. Thank you. Okay, now I'm on the trigger parts. I've got the rims off. That's pretty straightforward. When I get to this point here, I actually have to unscrew this so this comes all the way off. To throw off. This is on a Ludwig Supraphonic. Someone's watching this and going, a travesty, I'm doing this to this, but hey. So that comes off like this. It slides off the back. Then I can reach the 2 screws here, flathead screws that are connected with bolts on the inside. Right now I'm going to work on something else. You can see the badge here. It actually has a long tube going through, unusually. You can see that there, right there. And the rivet is going through that metal tube, which is rather stout, and then into the bead on the outside. So I'm going to work that out. I want to try to get that badge out without damaging it all. So I'm going to move our camera down here, see if I can actually see it, what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go and work the screwdriver underneath the edges of that. Get it peeled back in. That's soft. The problem with this is you have to actually have 3 hands to be able to see this. So you can see the rivet there. I'll be taking and working the screwdriver to bend that part in. Should be a job. No one said it would be easy. So you can see I've got that crumpled up there. And what I'm going to do now is take the ring, which I've never seen one of these with the ring like this before. I'm going to try to pull it off, lever it out, so I just have the rivet in there, the brass rivet. This ring is steel, and that's what's making this so difficult to come out. The brass is relatively soft. So you can see I've got that metal ring off the brass. I got unattached from the corners, unriveted, and that's got that right there. That's that ring there, which is relatively unusual. So now all I really need to do is crimp this down. So now I have the rivet here. You can see that or not. But I was able to get it out. Here's the ring that was actually riveted to. So it was a long brass rivet. This ring is fairly stout. And now I'm going to work around the edge of that badge with something really thin. It doesn't really have it's glued on actually, so I'm going to have to work it up very carefully. I'll bring you a report on how that works. Okay, I've got my grommet out, and I got my knife right underneath this edge of this badge, and I can just barely run underneath the edge there. Be really gentle. See if I can work it under. As I don't crimp it, I should be able to bend it back into shape. I might put on with adhesive again too. Just taking a knife edge, working it around. Try not to stab myself. So I'm going to work on that for a little bit here. Okay, I've been working this up. I'm just going very slowly, popping it up a little bit each time. Sorry about that. Get that last section up. Let's see, it's curved backwards now, but we'll bend it straight. So the badge is off there about as good as I could expect on my first try here. It had a lot of glue on it, but I'm anticipating when I put it back on, if I do, I will actually put glue on and press it down and get it flattened out. I've worked it back and forth with my fingers as much as possible, bending it. Like I said, it's not much more than a piece of tin foil. But the paint all stayed good on it, so that's good. Any marks you see are goop from years and years in dirt and such. Next step will be to take these screws off here, and on the butt piece on the other side, just like then I took that off there so I could get that off there. So that's turned that way. That just floats there. And I'll be taking these bolts off the inside with a nut driver. Okay, back again. So there are a nut and two washers, a flat washer, a lock washer on the back side of that. So I've taken the flat washer off, and underneath here, you take the screw out, there's another washer just sitting there you need to save, because that one spaces the throw off out a little bit. So we'll get these screws out of here. That's down there now. And grab this washer and put them all together on the screw. So slide head, flat washer, lock nut, and nut. I should probably just put these in here. I'm not gonna put them in order. This keeps everything together if I put everything like this. So maybe I'll put the other one in order here so I don't remember how it went. So actually it's a plate, the bolt through, washer, the shell, the washer on the other side, lock washer, and nut. And that way I won't forget if it takes me a week to do this. So another piece there. Now, pretty much getting there. Oh, we got one more thing here since I got my screwdriver out. The muffler. This one actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. So we have to take this screw out here that just keeps it oriented up and down. That's great fun. And there's a nut and a washer on here, which you can't really see, which is fun. So I'm going to put it over something that it can drop on. Maybe I'll see if I lose it. See, that's that slotted screw right there. I've loosened it. I'm taking the nut off the back side of it. We'll see what falls off of it then. Just got a little washer on there. Okay, there's the nut. Screw out. Maybe. On this one, the washer is on the outside. There's apparently none on the inside. Okay, so we'll set that, find the nut where it's slipped down inside the rim here. There's a nut on the inside. Could be a little bit of a challenge. They have tools. Come on, baby. Pliers to grab that nut. Got it. And again, I'll take the throw off. What am I to lose now? Oh, it's still on here. We have the other part to do. So now that that's off there, you can see it's still on there. This goes through a big nut thing there that actually tightens and loosens it. So all we have to do is loosen that all the way out. So now I'm on washer on the outside. Take it off with the washer. And then we have this all in one piece. The odd thing about this is I'm going to be devaluing this quite a bit just by powder coating it, but the parts like this, genuine, you know, in fairly good shape muffler, might be somewhat valuable. I paid like 70 or 80 bucks for the drum itself, considering it was corroded and missing some lugs and stuff like that. Not lugs, but missing rods. But it could actually wind up that the, like I said, that the drum might be parts of it that I don't put back on. Like I may not put this back on. It'd be worth more than the drum. So I've got that. I've got the. Now I'll get the butt piece off, which is fairly straightforward. So I'm going to turn this off again. Again. Okay, I'm taking off these, I have a nut driver here. Taking off these two bolts on each of these lugs. You have a gigantic cup sort of washer. I'm going to come off like this. Put these screws back in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that board there, if you can see this board over here, I'm going to drill holes the size of the lug in there, and I'm going to screw the lug to the board. I'll have to countersink it for that little hole there, or just make the hole big enough for it to fit through. So put the lugs on the board so they can be sandblasted and then powder coated without getting any powder coating on the inside. Now if you notice, there's a spring in here. I'm going to take the spring, if I can, take a screwdriver, take the spring and spring it down and undo it there. Now the spring should be pretty easy to put in. And there's the two parts of the lug that I don't want to get powder coated. I'll clean those up and put them back in a bit after it gets powder coated. So I have, this is the only part here that will be powder coated, the shiny side, which is somewhat corroded now. Okay, now I've taken all the lugs off. I have a piece of fiberboard here that I picked up. It is 1/8 inch smooth panel board. What I've done is I've taken a 1/4 inch drill bit and drilled a bunch of holes in here, and now I'm mounting the lugs to the holes, hopefully not to get the powder coating on any of the other sides of the lugs. So you see I'm flush here, and here I'm mounting them with their own screws. So that's what I'm doing now. It's a little bit of a pain. Okay, you can see how I have the board here. I'm putting the lugs in it like so. Reach around, put the lug in. I didn't get quite far down enough. We'll modify it. Have everything tight, just like it would be on a drum. Hopefully you can see that.